Hey, Mary, back with another video. It's Monday morning. I think it's the 28th. I think it is. Of course, it's May. And I am on my way to work. And this weekend I did a lot of thinking about how intrusive, certain employers are, and how they actually destroy the lives of other people. This morning I did a quick Google search because I do realize that this issue of human trafficking is huge. I mean, it's huge, okay? Some people don't even realize they're being trafficked. Sometimes, a woman will, leave a marriage or whatever, and then she finds that she's in a very unstable position and can't find, adequate employment and so on. And so, I wanted to kind of create an article on my own based on this issue, on my issue, as well as some other people's stories that I've, heard and read as well. But I wanted like a formal article that I could read. So I did some Google searches. I didn't get a chance to read them. I will do that when I get home. But it does confirm my suspicion about how big this issue really is. And of course, I've mentioned the issue about employers not having the knowledge and the understanding of what they're really getting into. And then some people do know what they're getting into, and that to me is just scoundrel people. To shape and modify a lifestyle of a person is something that is highly resentful and regrettable, to the target that's experiencing it. So this weekend, I was pretty upset. My sleep was actually disturbed a few times because of it. I did sleep pretty good overall because, it's like it does, sleep gives me a break, from all of this, because it's a very aggravating situation to be in. And, you find that your daily routine is not a very pleasant one because you're constantly doing things and being around environments that you would rather not be in. And, this is so contrary to the life that I ever wanted for myself. But anyway, I was watching I'm a huge Cell Block H fan. I remember watching that show when I was a kid. And so I've been catching up on some of the episodes that I kind of forgot, Some of the episodes I remember quite vividly, but and then other ones I've kind of forgot, and I wanted to kind of review the show. Apparently they made a new version of the show. It's called Wentworth. I've watched a few of the episodes. I will say that I'm not as crazy about Wentworth as I am about Cell Block H. And by the way, I'm not somebody who's a fan of movies that get remade or television shows that get remade, because it's like, once it's done, it doesn't need to be updated. Some people say, well, that Cell Block H was made back in the late 70s and the early 80s, and so the times have changed. But the situation, the issues haven't changed. Sure, you might, back then people kind of corresponded through letters and stuff like that, and now we have things like, electronic devices like, cell phones and whatnot. But that, it's still, the underlying message is pretty much the same. So to me, when they redo movies and television shows, it just kind of pisses me off. But anyway, so this particular issue, this particular episode that I was watching, I think it's episode number 26 or 27. Anyway, it was about this lady. It has nothing to do with human trafficking, but it does have an issue relating to spousal abuse and the abuse of her child. And I was thinking, how easy it can be for an employer to trap a woman into a relationship that is abusive. Because, oftentimes, when men pull the strings behind the scenes, it puts a woman in a very awkward situation. Somebody appoints this person, as as being authorized to choose a woman's job or whatever. And so, he can make it so that she can't find adequate employment or whatever. And I kept thinking, wouldn't it be, I tried to change the scenario in my mind. Okay, because I'm sure this happens. It obviously does happen to a lot of women. For example, a man is very abusive to a woman, and in turn, she has these frustrations because she feels trapped. And I'm not justifying child abuse in any way, okay, because it's wrong. But she lashes out on her kid because she's trapped. I mean, she has no other alternative. She can't go and find another job and set up a life for herself because somebody else who at this point is not really her partner is now her basic enemy, and he can easily do it. And it's illegal, of course, but this kind of stuff happens all the time. And it's wrong. Now, some people will say, well, what about the cute guy? Well, yeah, I adore the cute guy. But, you know, still, I don't think it's a good thing for employers to intervene and allow this sort of thing to happen. A woman needs her freedom just in case she is in an abusive situation. And that's one of the reasons why we do have these laws, which, you know, sadly are ignored, you know, and it's wrong. It's very wrong. So I was stewing, you know, all weekend long about how people are putting women in these abusive situations. And I look at this issue as an abusive situation. And I was very angry at Steve Murray. I did a few rants. I don't know if I remember. I don't remember if I posted or not, because I had some issues with my phone and the time and everything. It kind of gets cut off after a certain time, because I'm really having a lot of problems with my phone. But anyway, you know, I am angry that he would take it upon himself to intervene in my personal life. You know, it's like, it's none of your business. And that goes for the other employers as well. I don't want other people manipulating my life in that way, you know, and that's my right to say that. I mean, you know, these people trap me, you know, where, you know, I've looked for jobs in other locations, you know, because I just wanted to get on with my life. I deserve to have adequate employment. I deserve to have, you know, a decent life, you know, and get on with my life. And that's all I wanted to do. I don't know what these people were thinking, but maybe they thought, well, you know, she just wants to go off and have this, like, you know, party lifestyle. No, I want to settle down, meaning I want to find stability and be able to pay my bills and, you know, maybe meet a few girlfriends and have a life, you know. Now, if cute guy comes into my life, which would be great, but I don't like the fact that, you know, companies are behind it. That to me is like, it's almost like we're living in some sort of controlling type country, you know, that people talk crap about, but strangely enough exists here in the United States. I don't like that, you know, and I have every right to speak out about it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So anyway, you know, and I implore the cute guy, you know, please come around if you want to come around, but don't do this shit through employment, because it's bullshit. It really is, you know, and I'm not a fan of that, you know. I think a lot of people need to understand what this system is and how corrupt it is and how it's destroying the lives of many people. And, you know, and not just women, men as well. I know there's a lot of male-targeted individuals, but, you know, when I think about women, women can easily be trapped, you know, and in these situations, and it's wrong, you know. So yeah, I mean, I woke up this morning pissed off like I always have, and I miss the Mondays where I used to look forward to going to work. I used to look forward to going to work all the time. I used to wake up happy and bubbly and you know, couldn't wait for the next day, you know. And I mean, I enjoyed my weekend, but I always knew that I was going to look forward to the upcoming week. And now it's just, I feel like, you know, like I'm just kind of getting by existing, you know, and it's a demoralizing situation to be in, and it shouldn't be that way. You should always enjoy what you do. And then, you know, just about any professional person with half a brain would say that, you know, if you don't really enjoy what you're doing, then there's really no point in being there, because, you know, you're just going to do what you can do. You're not really going to flourish and thrive and go the extra mile. And I do know, like, when you're in a situation where your employment is being manipulated, you can work your ass off, much like I did over at Steve Murray's place. I worked my ass off at that job, and you know, any reputable employer would have said, you know what, this person, blah 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 blah, and which I did get a letter of recommendation after I left from that place. But what good is it if they put a situation in place where I can't really do anything? So it's very demoralizing. So for people who are in the employment positions where they are, like, you know, hiring people, I would really, you know, you need to think about that. It's not a good idea to put a person in a job where they're not really enthusiastic about it. It just isn't. You know, you need somebody who really likes what they're doing, and it's wrong to do otherwise. So anyway, I was pretty upset this weekend. I mean, I did what I could. You know, I kind of cleaned my house and got myself together, you know, even though I don't go anywhere, you know, I always try to make sure that I look decent, my house looks decent, even though I don't have any company. I did have a neighbor pop by, unexpectedly for like about 2 minutes. But, you know, I try to keep my surrounding and my environment on an upbeat mode as much as I possibly can. But, you know, deep down inside, you know, there's this part of me that's just like so unhappy. You know, I'm unhappy with how all of this turned out and how this whole situation is evolving, and I'm not happy with it at all. You know, I would prefer, you know, me to get to know the cute guy independently without other people involved. You know, because, you know, my goals were important. They were very important. I mean, I made a decision when I was, you know, as I got to be an adult, like, this is what I want in my life. You know, I know that this is the one thing that makes me happy. And some people think, well, you know, that's kind of ridiculous. But you know what? That's all I have, and I was grateful for it, and that's what I wanted to do. And people kind of squashed the only thing that mattered to me, and I'm just sitting here like, well, you know, I mean, my son's grown. I don't have anything to devote my attention and time to. And yes, you know, if people think, well, what, you can devote your time and attention to the cute guy, of course I could, okay? But, you know, I also think that there should be a balance. You know, you can't sit here and put all your hopes and dreams in one person and expect a person to fulfill every need. You know, that's wrong. It's wrong, you know? Although I think he's really cute, though. But anyway. Yeah, I was upset this weekend, and I'm upset now, and, you know, it's just been going on for entirely too long. And like I said, you know, I think I'm at 740 videos. I lost a subscriber because, of course, talking the truth. When you talk the truth, people like want to unsubscribe to your channel like you're hurt. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm going to speak the truth regardless. I'm not interested in who I offend because I'm not trying to offend people. People have offended me by putting me in this situation. So I have every right to speak out because my human rights are being trampled on. So I'm not, you know, my issue here in this particular channel is to communicate with the employers who got me into this mess, you know, that I didn't ask for. And that's really what it's for. It's not so much for, oh, and also it really, if I could perfect my videos more, like make them more educationally structured, it's for people to inform the general public of what this crime is. And it is a crime. And yeah, this whole issue is a scandal. All of it. It's a huge human trafficking, you know, gang stalking scandal, period. You're trapping a woman, you're preventing her from moving, you're doing all of this stuff, you're reducing the quality of life, you're discriminating against a person out loud, proud, in the open, and that's what it is. It's a scandal, period. And I'm not involved in the scandal. I'm a victim of the scandal. You know what I mean? So I kept wondering all this weekend, like, what was all this hostility about, you know? I kept thinking, well, you know, because I lied to my husband, well, look what my husband is. My ex-husband is, okay? But people let racism blind them to that fact. If you look a little bit closer, you'll see that, you know, it's really, if you can't see that, I don't even need to go into it, you know? But, and then also I think, well, people thought that I had a relationship with the cute guy when I didn't have a relationship with the cute guy. So I think people thought that I was, you know, somebody who might have been like, I don't know, seeing the cute guy, but I wasn't seeing the cute guy, you know what I mean? I hadn't given him any thought since he kind of shut me down in 2008 when I made an attempt to be his friend. So all of this is bullshit, and I'm suffering for reasons I don't deserve to suffer for. You know, I'm very bewildered. That's the word, bewildered by this whole thing. You know, so if the cute guy's behind it, I'm glad, but I'm not glad with the fact that employers are behind this and there's manipulation going on. I'm not happy with that at all, and I'm not happy with the fact that Steve Murray and Karen Johnson have gotten themselves entangled into my personal life. You know, that to me is like I said, you know, I'm very protective of my personal life. You know, I try to make sure I befriend people that I can trust, and I don't even like certain people coming into my house. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, knowing that these people are intermingling with someone that I would say, I would go so far to say I adore the cute guy. It kind of pisses me off, you know, it pisses me off big time. You know, yes, I do think he's adorable, but anyway. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm almost there. I'm off the freeway, or whatever you want to call it. Getting ready to head over there. And I just want to go straight home today. I'm grumpy. I'm extremely grumpy. And, you know, I'm just tired of this whole thing. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, good week. I know I'm not going to, but, you know, I hope everyone else does. And I'll be back with another video later. Take care. Bye-bye.